Hi again, fourth graders, and welcome to our Writer's Workshop for today. Today's session 2, Bringing History to Life, is all about planning the structure of your writing. We're going to actually begin writing other than just a couple of notes perhaps you took last night, or maybe yesterday you just focused on getting information and reading and finding information about your subtopic or even the American Revolution in general. Today we're going to push ahead with your chosen topic and begin to take a few notes, and we'll show you how to take those notes. Think back over the writing and planning that you've been doing and think ahead to what you think you'll be doing today. What will you tackle today, and how will it connect to stuff you've already learned to do? Today you're going to use the plans that you made yesterday, the research that you did, perhaps some of the notes that you took on the Revolution as you get started writing today. All of you plan to write a section that tells about the Revolutionary War. That will be your first beginning part of your story. Some of you talked about trying to do that in a way that sort of provides a context for your specific topic. Big picture, if you will. Because you will be using this section to teach a lot of information, it will help to remember what you learned in other years about writing information books. Writers, especially writers of information texts, take time to think over the structure for their writing. Writers choose structures that make sense for the entire piece of writing. For example, let's say I'm thinking of writing about the Boston Massacre. I'm going to start writing about the bigger picture of the Revolutionary War. I came up with some things, parts, categories that I expect to include when I write all about the Revolutionary War, and I've been filling my notes into those categories. Information writers take notes in ways that matches their plan for the whole piece. When writing about this story, the most obvious way to get readers to see the big picture is by explaining what happened in order, from first to last. Let's say if you're organizing your All About the Revolutionary War section that way, your subheadings are ordered as a timeline. For example, if you said the ending of the war as a subheading, well, that would be the last subheading in that section. You might not choose to organize your All About the Revolutionary War section chronologically, because the rest of your piece of writing wouldn't fit with a chronological retelling of the war in the first section. So you might come up with several different categories within the topic of the Revolutionary War. If you remember reading Naomi's example yesterday, Naomi did that in her writing, the example that we've been studying. Here are a couple of ways to structure a section of an informational book. One we mentioned was the chronologically way, telling things in order from first to last. Categorically is another way, where you would put different categories within the topic. And maybe you have a different way. You need to think about how you're going to structure your All About the Revolutionary War section of your book. Do you want to do it chronologically, categorically, a different way? And how will it fit with the rest of your plan for your whole book? Decide if this is the plan you want to keep. You'll have a few minutes to plan, and then you'll need to start writing that first section. So when you have a topic that feels like a lot of information, you do need to ask, how will I structure my writing? We always talk about text structure. We introduced that a few months ago, and we've really talked about that as fourth graders and in fourth grade to know about text structure. Well, write down the plans you have for your section and the entire book. When you're ready, start writing a draft and get started on your book, and be sure to write without stopping. Even if you don't know a name, maybe a date, or a place, push yourself to keep writing. I like this example. You can write, and then Paul somebody or other went riding through the towns. What towns were they? Calling, "The British are coming." You can always compare notes later and help each other fill in the thing you couldn't remember. You can also take what you write home and fill in some of the specifics. And again, if you're writing at home or doing this virtually, you're right there. So you can look at your Epic books or the books from online or your notes from yesterday or today and use that to help you. Two suggestions to help you write a lot. One is to write down facts. For example, Paul Revere rode through towns calling the British are coming. That's a fact. You would get that from a book and you could write that down. That's good information. Another thing to do is to write down your thoughts about the facts right away. For example, I think it's odd that someone is famous for just riding around calling out a warning. Usually people who are famous have been important leaders. Or another example might be, it must have taken a lot of courage to do what Paul Revere did. Those are things that will help your story and your writing. So scan over what you did. Think about what worked well. Make sure you provide evidence to support what you're saying. Finally, think of a few things that might nudge you to do even better work. Think about your topic. Did you cover the major parts? Did you tell the beginning, middle, and end? Did you use transition words? So as we send you off today to do your writing on this second session, we want you to write about the Revolutionary War, and the best way that you can, put as many notes and ideas down as you can, and make sure that this first page, just like Naomi's did yesterday, that this first page about the American Revolution is a good overview. Take your time. Again, use your materials, use your epic books, and do a great job on this very beginning part of your book. Get started. Good luck.